Steve Jobs' biography, the visionary who revolutionized technology. Steve Jobs was a pioneer in technology and innovation. He co-founded Apple Inc. and changed the way people interact with technology. His journey is a story of vision, passion, and perseverance. Early life and childhood. Steve Jobs was born on February 24, 1955 in San Francisco, California. His biological parents, Abdulfattah Jandali and Joanne Shibli, were young college students who decided to put him up for adoption. He was adopted by Paul and Clara Jobs, a middle-class couple who raised him in Mountain View, California, a place that would later be known as Silicon Valley. Paul Jobs was a machinist, and he introduced young Steve to mechanics and electronics. Steve became fascinated with how things worked, often spending hours working on electronics with his father in their garage. This early exposure shaped his interest in technology and design, passion for electronics and education. Jobs attended Homestead High School, where he met Steve Wozniak, a fellow electronics enthusiast. They bonded over their love of technology and pranks. Wozniak was a brilliant engineer, and Jobs had a natural talent for sales and vision. Together, they would later change the world. After high school, Jobs enrolled at Reed College in Oregon. However, he dropped out after just 6 months, realizing that the formal education system was not for him. He continued to attend classes that interested him, particularly a calligraphy course. This class later influenced the beautiful typography used in Apple computers, spiritual journey, and early career. In 1974, Jobs took a job at Atari, a video game company, to save money for a trip to India. He was deeply interested in spirituality and Eastern philosophy. He traveled to India in search of enlightenment, which influenced his minimalist lifestyle and design philosophy. Upon returning to the US, Jobs reconnected with Wozniak, who had designed a small computer. Jobs saw its potential and convinced Wozniak to start a company together. In 1976, they founded Apple in Jobs' parents' garage, along with Ronald Wayne, who soon left the company. The birth of Apple and early success. Their first product, the Apple I, was a simple computer without a keyboard or screen. They sold it to hobbyists and engineers. The real breakthrough came in 1977 with the Apple II, one of the first personal computers with a color display. It became a massive success, making Apple a leading company in the growing tech industry. Apple went public in 1980, making Jobs a millionaire at the age of 25. However, he was not satisfied. He wanted to create a computer that was easy to use for everyone. This led to the development of the Macintosh, introduced in 1984. The Mac featured a graphical user interface and a mouse, which were revolutionary at the time. The fall of Steve Jobs from Apple. Despite his success, Jobs was known for his intense and demanding leadership style. He often clashed with other executives, particularly John Sculley, the CEO he had hired from Pepsi. In 1985, Apple's board of directors sided with Sculley, and Jobs was forced out of his own company. It was a painful setback, but Jobs did not give up. He later said that getting fired from Apple was the best thing that ever happened to him, as it allowed him to start fresh. Next and Pixar, reinventing himself. After leaving Apple, Jobs founded Next, a company focused on building high-end computers for education and business. While Next computers were technologically advanced, they were expensive and struggled to sell. However, the software developed by Next would later become the foundation of Apple's modern operating system, Mac OS. During this time, Jobs also bought a small animation studio from George Lucas, which he renamed Pixar. Jobs believed in the potential of computer-generated animation. In 1995, Pixar released Toy Story, the first fully computer-animated film. It was a huge success and marked the beginning of Pixar's dominance in the animation industry. The return to Apple and the revolution. In 1996, Apple was struggling. The company was losing money and lacked direction. Desperate for innovation, Apple acquired Next, bringing Jobs back to the company. In 1997, he became Apple's CEO once again. Jobs quickly made bold decisions. He cut unprofitable projects and focused on simplicity. In 1998, Apple released the iMac, a colorful, all-in-one computer that became a bestseller. This was just the beginning of Apple's comeback. In the early 2000s, Jobs led Apple to launch a series of groundbreaking products. The iPod in 2001 changed the way people listened to music. The iTunes Store followed, making digital music purchases mainstream. Then came the iPhone in 2007. It was not just a phone, it was a revolution. The touchscreen interface and app ecosystem changed the mobile industry forever. The iPad, released in 2010, further cemented Apple's dominance in consumer electronics, leadership, style, and influence. Jobs was known for his perfectionism and high expectations. He pushed his employees to think differently and deliver the best possible products. His presentations, known as Steve Jobs keynotes, were legendary for their storytelling and excitement. He believed in integrating hardware and software to create seamless user experiences. He also valued simplicity, stating, "Simple can be harder than complex." His obsession with design and user experience set Apple apart from competitors. Health struggles and final years. In 2004, Jobs was diagnosed with pancreatic cancer. He initially resisted conventional treatment, opting for alternative therapies. However, his condition worsened, and he eventually underwent surgery. Despite his illness, he continued to lead Apple. He introduced the iPhone 4 in 2010, but had to take medical leave due to his declining health. In August 2011, he stepped down as CEO, naming Tim Cook as his successor. On October 5, 2011, Steve Jobs passed away at the age of 56. His death was mourned worldwide, with tributes pouring in from world leaders, tech giants, and fans. Legacy and impact. Steve Jobs' impact on the world is undeniable. He revolutionized multiple industries, including computing, music, animation, and telecommunications. His vision transformed Apple into one of the most valuable companies in history. His legacy is not just in the products he created, but in the way he inspired innovation. He encouraged people to follow their passions and think differently. His famous quote, "The people who are crazy enough to think they can change the world are the ones who do," continues to inspire entrepreneurs and dreamers. Steve Jobs' journey teaches us that failure is not the end, but an opportunity to grow. His relentless pursuit of excellence, attention to detail, and belief in innovation made him one of the greatest visionaries of all time.